Can you tell me a bit about the work you've been doing in the poster you will be presenting today?
So for the past 3 months, I have been working on measuring the readability of web documents. So before we jump into the subject, we have to talk a bit about the background. What's readability and how we measure it? So readability is basically how easy or hard a text can be read. It's what makes different between reading from a poster or reading from a magazine and reading from law books. So basically, readability is very important for a lot of reasons, because a lot of information that is being shown online to the people is actually quite complicatedly written. For example, a lot of studies have suggested that a lot of medical information that is published online is not written that is the average US citizen can actually understand it, which can lead to a lot of false information. So now we understand, okay, so readability is important. How do we measure it? And how do you measure the readability of the web? Basically, what we have to do is we have a set of goals, is to extract the main content of any HTML document, any website. We can extract the text, and then using a lot of Python libraries and tools, we can analyze it and get the scores. How do we get the score of readability? Okay, basically, this is actually a lot of scientists has researched and came up with formulas since more than 50 years on how to actually measure how the text is, how readable is the text. So there is a lot of formulas that gives us, for example, not just a score, it can give us a grade on, or like for example, a school grade, for example, to the flash is readability formula would give us a score between 1 and 100, and then there's another formula that's called the SMOG formula, which would give us tell us, okay, someone has to be in the 4th grade to read that. Someone has to have academic learning or academic education, higher education, to actually read that. So that's exactly what we did. So I implemented a software architecture where I used a lot of libraries and tools to extract the text from web documents, and not just web documents, also from search engines. So I extract the text from search engine, and then we get the links for the first 10 results, and then we can actually analyze these results individually or all together. And of course, we have also to make sure that our tool is working. So we have 2 components. We have the extracting component, and we have the readability analyzing component. For the extracting component, the tool has been proven that it's working for 90% of the data set that has been given to it. It's basically that sometimes some websites would prevent web crawlers to access the data in a script. And interestingly, some websites would actually tell you in the script text that you shouldn't be doing that. But also, there is a lot of ways around that. We can trick the website of thinking we are humans, and that can be also extended to the application. Regarding the results, the readability scores, the application showed very quite decent results when compared with a lot of solutions that are available online, which is open source. For example, we can see here that the green result is our application, and we see it fully exactly in the middle between one online solution and another one. So it's showing us that the tool is actually working. It's measuring readability, and then we had another goal, which is basically extending it not just for English. We want it for more languages. So I extended the tool to work also with German, and then at the end I added Arabic too, because it's my mother tongue and it has a completely different system. So it's a proof that the tool can be extended also with languages that have another system or another alphabet, and it actually works. So at the end, we have a tool that is plug and play. We can just use it to type a link. The user will have two options: either type a complete URL or type a search query, and depending on the input, it will give us the readability directly, or will give us readability of the first 10 results.
Excellent, thank you.
Yep.